Well, for National Quilting Month, we visited the Yard Goods Center in Waterville, a business that was started back in 1949. Now, the business has been operated by Ken Vlodick and his wife, Sally, who run the fabric side. Kadichi Lawrence has more.
There is more to quilting than fabric and thread.
Historically, women did not know how to read or to write.
Sally Vlodick says the women told stories through quilting.
There are many stories throughout the world about how women gathered together and made their hands busy and made beautiful quilts.
Quilts that are handed down for generations. In Ken Vlodick's case, it was the business.
I grew up in this business, so I can remember when I was 4 years old of my parents having me fill the racks of thread for a quarter.
His parents started the business decades ago. Now, Ken and his wife Sally are running the fabric side of the store.
Monday to Tuesday to Wednesday to Thursday to Friday to Saturday, there's not one day that's even remotely close.
That's because they offer everything from fabrics,
Apparel fabric, to quilting fabric, to home deck fabric,
including a wide range of threads and machines.
Quite often somebody will bring an heirloom quilt in, something that might have been in a drawer for 30, 40 years and is now showing some deterioration.
While quilting was known as something women primarily did, Sally says she noticed more men showing interest.
We had a gentleman today who came in, and he happens to hand sew jeans and patches.
Sally says art is non-gender and is personal to everyone involved.
By the time you pick out your colors, you find the colors that your daughter, your granddaughter, your neighbor loves, and you spend time to pick it out. And then you're cutting it, and you've created its design, and then you're sewing it together.
It could be for your own personal use. It could be a gift for a family member. It's an heirloom. It's going to be something that somebody's going to take great pride in. And there's so many different ways that you can quilt.
That includes using a quilting machine.
You can buy long arms, and we carry like the handy quilter long arms. You can sit down and do free motion, or you can use robotics.
There's something for everyone and endless opportunities.
We're now seeing amazing pieces of art that artists are doing as quilting, and you look at it and go, it's nothing I would have ever thought of.
Kadichi Lawrence, WABI TV5 News, Waterville.